going on, guys? Gawdlyy here, and I'm bringing an interesting video. I have some people that know I play Mortal Kombat. I have some subscribers that know I play Mortal Kombat, but everyone really doesn't know that. Like, I'm a really huge Mortal Kombat fan. I just haven't been the hugest of MK fans as of lately, but I'm still a fan of the series. And I'm gonna ranking the MK games from worst to best, best to worst, whatever. And yeah, let's get to it. All right. So I might just generalize it, like just as games. So if it says Super Nintendo, ignore it. I'm just meaning Mortal Kombat. Or if it's a Sega Genesis port, I'm just meaning just the game. All right, let's get to it. So I guess I'll start how the list sorted it out. So we have Deadly Alliance. Deadly Alliance was pretty much the first of the MK comebacks, and I actually really like this game, minus the conquest being a little boring after a while. Honestly, I think this game was dope. The one fatalities and the fact that a lot of fatalities were trash, I guess, but I'm not a big fatality person. I'm more so about gameplay and features and roster, so fatalities don't sell me in Mortal Kombat games, believe it or not. So, and you're gonna see that gameplay is gonna play a huge role in this playlist. So Deadly Alliance, I'm going to put this probably in the B tier for now. Sub-Zero, really stiff platformer. You have to press a button to turn. Interesting music. I liked it at the time, but I don't like playing it now. It's just stressful. But yeah, we're gonna give this one, I'm gonna still give it a C/D because I did enjoy it as a kid. I'm not gonna act like it was garbage. MKX is god tier. Super fast gameplay, great story mode, an amazing crypt. We had the variation system, which I don't like anymore, but at the time it was a cool idea. You know, they brought the run button back, so there was just a lot of in-your-face, the way Mortal Kombat is, in-your-face brawling action, combo heavy, intense. Like, you gotta be on your A game. MK action, 50-50 mix up, just pure hype, chaotic gameplay, and I loved it. S tier. MK4, I actually like this game, but I'm probably gonna put it, like, I like this game, the endings were hilarious, but I did like the impact. Like, when I first played it, it was still dope at the time, even though I was playing Virtua Fighter and I was playing Tekken. I was even playing Soul Blade. So I did feel like this game was, in that realm, was a step back from what was going on in the industry at the time. But I mean, I can't lie, when it was at the arcade, seeing Quan Chi on the side, all the blood, and it was really gory, the game was still dope. I'm gonna have to give this one an A. And it was still MK, like you still ran up on people, run up on them, beat them down. You had your combos. You had the low kick grabs where you break someone's bone. They had weapons on the floor. You could pull out a weapon. Had a lot of cool stuff in that game. MK9. You know, I'm gonna say that one for later. I have to say that for later. I don't even want to talk about that game right now. MK vs DC. Believe it or not, I actually really like MK vs DC for the simple fact that it did something very different for 3D games in general, but also for Mortal Kombat games, and it was the pro moves. As strict timing and as hard as they were to pull off, the pro moves in that game were actually super sick. Like the way they were like in certain situations, that was your combo extender. You had to pull off this like 1 frame time button, you know, and it was sick, bro. Like, that was so sick about it. The only thing I hated was the rage mechanic. That was trash, and it had a lot of jank, like as far as like animations and the way how things moved. Like the whole, like, you had to use like between the analog and the D-pad for 3D and 2D movement was a nice try. It was different, but I was like, I didn't like that too much. But I still appreciated how they tried to still be different in a 3D game. Like, they still tried, and it was the most, to me, the most random mashup ever. Like, MK and DC to me doesn't go together, but they made it happen, you know. So, and the online was super trash. It wasn't as bad on 360 as it is on PS3. PS3 was beyond unplayable, but at least 360 version was somewhat playable. But this game to me wasn't that bad. Heroic brutalities and the fatalities thing, I seen that coming along like a mile away. And believe it or not, the story mode and the whole, like, you could pick, the way how like the story mode had, it was pretty much 2 different story modes. You had the MK side and the DC side, and then the arcade ladders had, you could play a ladder full of MK players or a ladder full of DC players, which is pretty dope. And or mixed, you know, which is pretty cool. And the story was pretty unique. I don't know, I don't hate it. I actually kind of like it. Besides the online rage mode and some janky like 3D and animation movements, you know, combo trials were really challenging, but they were pretty cool. It was hard, but like that was fun to me. I don't know. I had a great time with that game, and I loved the menu transitions, like between like Scorpion and Batman fighting in the menu, depending on what scene you picked in the menu, it showed different attack. Man, that was sick. That's still dope to me. So I'm gonna put some respect on that. Put that in B. MK1. Again, it started it all when I was a shorty, bro. Man, Sega Genesis, specifically the Sega Genesis version, and obviously the arcade version. Man, Blood Code, and this definitely started it all. But I will say, like, to me today, it's hard to play MK1. It's really hard to go back to play that game. It's more so like if I'm just gonna do it just to complete the game, just to beat the game. But other than that, I can't sit there and play somebody for real in that game. Like, it's the movement and everything. It's a little outdated, but it's still the one that started it all. And without that, we wouldn't have this list here, and I wouldn't be here talking about it. So you have to acknowledge that. But I don't know if I want to rate this like in today's standards or the overall impact of the game, because it's 2 different ratings at that rate. In today's standards, I would give this a B above Deadly Alliance, like if we're ranking it right now today. But since it's MK1, I don't want to disrespect MK. I can't. I'll put it right here in H here. It just has to go right there. Yeah, it's fine. I'm cool with that. MK2, the perfect way to come back after a greatly impacted game. Like this is like a sequel. Like, if you want a good sequel, like this is a sequel right here. After something so huge, like, to me, I loved MK2 more than Street Fighter 2 because no one played Street Fighter 1. I didn't even know there was a Street Fighter 1. I didn't know there was a Street Fighter 1 until like years. I'm talking like Third Strike was out, and I was like, oh, there's an actual Street Fighter. I never even seen the cabinet until like Galloping Ghost Arcade opened up. So I definitely see Street Fighter 2010 on NES. So I always thought that was Street Fighter 1. But either way, back to what I was saying. MK2, man, this game was tight. It is still tight. I just don't like playing it, like, I guess, in a competitive manner, but it's still, I would still play this at a game night, bar, whatever, arcade. I still would do a quick playthrough, and it was super hard, super broken, and it was just tight. The fatalities, the stages, the sound, the characters, man, it man, that's a sequel for you. And actually, I love this game way more than MK1 any day, but that has to stay there. Alright, so this is MK Deception, and I believe 1 is Deception. I don't know why there's a PS2 copy. Anyways, MK Deception. Now, I think MK Deception is one of the best, like, in the top 3, maybe even, I'm okay with top 5, and when people talk about MKs, but because out of all the 3D ones, I think this did it the best, in my opinion. You had the stances again, and you also had an amazing roster of characters, new and original. Like, I love the Noob Smoke idea. The Noob Smoke character was so tight. The fact that they brought back Liu Kang as a zombie was tight to me. Ashura was a really cool character. Li Mei was cool. Hotaru was really cool to me. I even like Cobra. Like, it was like a generic character that to me was pretty cool to me. I don't know, I liked it. The Conquest was amazing, bro. Like, the whole Shujinko storyline and the way it worked, where you had to use like other MK moves, and you had to meditate to make the time go by, and certain things would only happen at certain times of the day. Man, that was tight. The Crypt was great. Wait, that one had the Crypt? Yeah, that one had a Crypt, right? I can't remember. I had a brain fart. But I do know chess combat and puzzle combat, God tier. And the online was really fun. This was the first time I played online in Mortal Kombat. It was, man, like, that changed everything for me. MK Deception definitely, to me, goes up there. Goes all the way at the top of S tier game. Stages were cool. We had stage fatalities that were kind of like intertwined. They weren't like a input. It was just a situational thing. Like, you could actually just get uppercutted. Like, you could be getting your butt whooped and just get uppercutted into a stage fatality. I thought that was super dope. I'm gonna just put this one to the side because we just talked about it. I mean, I guess if we're gonna talk about Unchained, which had a couple extra characters for the PSP, which was still dope, but it's like an expansion. MK Trilogy, ooh. Man, MK Trilogy on PC and N64 is my favorite thing. On PS1, but on N64 and on the PC version, man, of MK Trilogy is God tier. Like, this game was MK, like the original trilogy. This was like the greatest hits version in one game. And at the time, this was like all I needed. Like, I didn't need MK1, I didn't need MK2, I didn't need UMK3. Like, this is all I needed was Trilogy. Like, I remember when MK4 came out, and I loved MK4, but then I remember still going back playing Trilogy, because Trilogy was just, man, the 3-on-3 combat. You had all the characters. You had who else do we have? Man, the boss characters. You had the MK2 and MK1 variants of certain characters, and tons of secret codes. Man, it was a super hype game that we still play to this day. Two of my cousins, my friends, bro. This game doesn't get enough shine, in my opinion. Like, everyone's always talking about MK3 or UMK3, but like, man, I would love to see this in a compilation with online play. Oh man, that and like MK Gold and MK Deception again. Man, those three in a compilation alone would be enough to sell me. Man, that is crazy. Yeah, so Trilogy, yeah, that's up there. And we have MK Gold. I'm gonna give MK Gold. I'm gonna put that in front of 4, since it's It's basically MK4 remastered with more characters. I think there's some balance tweaks to it, but essentially it's a better version of MK4. It's my favorite version of the MK4 era to play. So yeah, that's that. Mortal Kombat 3, vanilla MK3. I love this game so much, but I'm sorry, the characters that it was missing, and it was kind of busted, but it still was goated. But I'd have to put this in between there. They did better later. I'll move that one. Talk about that one later. Armageddon. Now, Armageddon, on paper, I love this game. On paper, this was like the trilogy that I wanted for the 3D era, and that's what I got. And there was a lot of things I love about this game, but a lot of things I hated about this game. Things that I loved about MK Armageddon was the creative character was cool, the motor combat was really cool, the conquest was really, really cool, and honestly, I thought that was pretty dope. It had a cool intro, and the fact that it had all the characters again, I think was really sick. But you could definitely, like, if you dig deep into the game on a gameplay level, you could definitely see where a lot of corners were cut, or at least it seems like it. They probably weren't, but it just seems like it was really, cut short in certain situations. I love the air combat idea. I thought that was dope. And, I still play the crap out of it. I'm not gonna act like I didn't, but this wasn't as great as Deception, and obviously it was nowhere near as great as a MK trilogy game. I loved it, didn't hate it, but I can't put it in the great column, so we're gonna put that right here in B, above that. And UMK3. Now this game I loved. I pretty much love this game to this day. And I also really love it too because this is the one everyone plays today. If Trilogy was the one everyone played, I'd love Trilogy more, but since this is kind of like the not mainstream, but like this is like when retro gamers and retro MK players play, they usually play this, so I still love it. It's the closest to Trilogy I'm gonna get, and I'm okay with that. Even though I know Trilogy's more broken, but I just enjoy Trilogy more. But this game's still god tier to me. I mean, my favorite port is the Xbox 360 port that they came out with. That's like discontinued. That's like my favorite version to play, besides Fightcade, of course. But yeah, this is goated. This goes here, right here. MK9. MK9 to me is, in my opinion, this is strictly my opinion, MK9 to me is the best Mortal Kombat in the series at this moment. And I only say that because as a old school player and as someone that still currently plays Mortal Kombat, this is when I think MK9 is when the formula was done perfectly, where it brought back all the characters you needed, some cool DLC, story mode was amazing, the crypt was amazing, they had tag mode, the online was super fun, we had the King of the Hill mode. I mean, this was the game I owned all versions of this game. I had this on PC, PS Vita, PS3, 360, and I think that's it. I think that's all the versions I have. But I mean, I have all versions, all DLC, 100% straight through. This game, NRS, needs to just take it from here and just stick to here for the rest. I mean, this was before the variation system and custom combats and all that crap. This is when the character was a character. This is where I had the movement. You know, it was broken for sure, definitely broken, but it had a certain swag to it, freedom, and you had like real true character freedom. Like if 5 people were in the room and they all played as Sub-Zero, they would pretty much all play the same way, or all play a different way. Like they would all have their own unique flavor, and to me that was just untouchable. Like this game was just, I played so much MK9, and I wish this game could be revived and remastered or somehow just, man, this game right here, number 1, or is this number 1? Yeah, number 1 MK right here. MK11, I only say this one for last because it's the most recent one. So MK11, I have a love-hate relationship with this game. As of lately, I've been playing it, but I definitely took like a 2.5 year hiatus from this game. I played it a lot at launch. I even tried to compete in it, and I think that this game is the best looking Mortal Kombat. It has some of the most creative like fatalities and gore and blood and everything, but competitively and like playing it seriously or just playing it just wasn't for me. I love the idea and the concepts behind this. Is the best crypt on a concept level, but to me the ultimate fail for me in the crypt was the RNG behind it. Pretty much they were basically like loot boxes, and I really hate that about that because there's so much filler content in the crypt. Like there's augments and all these like little things that you just don't need, and with there being an RNG behind it, it kind of took it away for me because like there's certain chests that costed so much and you grinded for. You did all this work just to get this random little piece for a character you don't even use, you know, versus if you had a crypt where everything was in specific spots, you could be like, oh, I'm gonna look up where the Kung Lao specific costumes and hats are, and I could grind for my character. And and you kind of had that with their towers. They're really big on the towers in this game. You could use like a character tower, but then you had to do like these really weird requirements, and even then it was still kind of RNG-ish for your rewards, you know. So it was just like you know, it's just too much RNG for me. That took it away from me, and I just don't like the movement and how heavy and weighed, like not slow pace, but I feel like I just can't do anything in this game. Like it just feels so limited. So like that took it away from me on a level of like, I guess, competitiveness, or like really just caring about what happens in my outcome in the game. But the game was still really good. Like I love the footsie, how they attempt to have like a footsies, and they attempted to have like a lot of like spacing, and they attempted to make it like really zone heavy, like it was like Injustice. So like that's another reason that kind of took it away from me. But like I love the fatal blows. I love like just those type of situations were really cool, and the crushing blows. I thought that was really cool, you know. I also didn't like the whole like meter just like regenerating by itself. Like I didn't like that either, you know, but I got over that. But overall the game is still great, you know. It's not trash or anything. It's just hard for me to put it on the level of like, if you look at these Mortal Kombats, like if you look at this S and A tier, you know, these games are just like so different to what MK11 is, which is a good and bad thing, you know. Like MK9, you have these combos, you have movement, you have this character like freedom, you have the same thing in Deception, you have mix-ups and these long string combos that you're pulling off in juggles. MK Trilogy, Rushdown, in your face combat beatdowns, you know. MKX, same thing, mix them up, flip them up, you know, you're just in their face. At UMK3, same thing. Even MK2, even you get the jump kick, sweeps, grabs, you know what I'm saying. You're trying to find that opening. MK Gold, just run up, beat him down, break his legs. You had little air combat and MK Armageddon. Like I'm going down the list of Mortal Kombat, and then there's 11, which is like, it wanted to be like Injustice or something. I don't know, it was really weird. And I guess that's what took away from me. Like I didn't understand the game. Like I didn't understand the direction of the game. So well, for the longest I hated the game, and now that I've been playing it, I have subscribers that I play with, I have other YouTubers that I play with, family that I play with now, and I kind of understand what's going on now. But I still don't like it that much. But I just play it. I just play it just to play it. It's still a good game. Like overall, as a packaged video game, it's still a great value. Really great value of a game. So, MKX as a game, it's still a great game, but as an MK game, I'm gonna have to give this a B. And yeah, so yeah, that's my list. I hope you guys enjoyed it. You get to see like pretty much my point of view, where I'm at as far as Mortal Kombat's. Anytime anyone wants to play anything on the S tier column, hit me up. We can have a Parsec or actual servers if needed. I'm always down. But yeah, thanks for tuning in, and stay tuned for more content. Peace.